It's Election Day in Chicago. Voters casting ballots for mayor, alderman, and other city offices. Mayor Emanuel has a big lead in the polls, but will it be enough to claim victory tonight and avoid a runoff? Good afternoon. I'm Steve Sanders.
And I'm Gina Bair. Thanks for joining us. WGN's Julian Cruz is live in the city's Avondale neighborhood with more on the election. Julian?
Dina, the headline this midday, mayoral candidate Willie Wilson complaining about what he describes as early voting irregularities. More on that in just a moment. We're seeing some evidence of problems up here in the 41st Ward on the northwest side of Chicago. Judges arriving too late or failing to show up altogether in a pair of precincts. The Chicago Board of Election Commissioners sending out standby judges to fill in. In a city of more than 2,069 precincts, it is certainly not unusual to see a small number of precincts where judges don't show up. The 15th and 37th precinct here in the 41st Ward opened up late. The Board of Elections expected to go before a judge later today to ask for an extension of time here at the 15th and 37th precinct. The incumbent, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, voted early last week. Now, recent polls show the mayor with a sizable lead over his closest opponent, but the big question, will he get the 50% plus one vote minimum that he needs to avoid a runoff election in April? Nearly every major poll shows Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia running second behind the mayor. Garcia, who got into the race very late, hoping that he can push Emanuel into a runoff. Second Ward Alderman Bob Fioretti also hoping to capitalize on voter discontent. A vocal Emanuel critic at City Hall who has complained about a lack of transparency from the incumbent mayor, among other things. William Doc Walls also hoping to siphon away unhappy voters, focusing on controversial school closures, which hit very hard in predominantly African American and Latino communities in Chicago, causing disruption and heartache for many families. And businessman Willie Wilson hoping his success in the private sector will persuade voters to let him run the city. But Wilson also making complaints about early voting, alleging irregularities and claiming that some of his supporters complained that voting machines were not calibrated. One supporter claiming that he had to vote 4 times before they would get the voting machine to properly register a Wilson vote.
We're finding a lot of issues at some of the polling place, so we're asking the Lisa Madigan, the Attorney General, and the state's attorney, the FBI, and anybody we can get to come and investigate these things.
Now, no word yet from any of those agencies, although the Cook County State's Attorney is sending out a press release that they have deployed teams of prosecutors and investigators at various polling places across the city. But, of course, this is just a matter of routine. Now, Election Board Commissioner Langdon Neal saying that he sees at this point no wide-scale problems or any evidence of issues with voting machines not properly tabulating votes. Much more on this to come later today. On the northwest side, Julian Cruz, WGN News.